Hi, everyone. I'm Sabrina Dami. This is your afternoon update on 13 Now, when we want to start with the weather and Hurricane Nicole creating a lot of problems for people in Florida right now. Some video to show you of the latest situation down there. This is Daytona Beach, and if you watch closely, you see that tree fall suddenly. So the parts of that beach, parts of the road even just being washed away as we speak. So this is a strong storm over there. It might cause some problems for us here. So let's bring in meteorologist Paul Cayano to talk a little bit about this. And Paul, we're not necessarily talking about concerns to that level, but we're going to talk about a lot of rain here.
Yeah, we'll talk about both, because I did want to mention that video for a Category 1 hurricane that was only a Cat 1 for a number of hours, less than a day. It's doing a lot of damage along the coast of northeastern Florida. And that's because of this persistent onshore flow. So even though it's only been a hurricane for a short period of time, the battering waves that you're seeing here is really causing damage that we would see with a more powerful hurricane. And it's just the persistence that is the problem with this. And even though this thing has weakened to a tropical storm now, and it's on the other side of the state, there's still a whole bunch of onshore flow here in the northern part of Florida. So
this video that we're seeing right now, Paul, this is Villano Beach in Florida. We were seeing Daytona Beach, but just kind of a snapshot that it's a widespread area that's being affected there.
Yeah, and if you go to the map, I want to show you something else on Max 2, because you can see the circulation right over the center of the state, right? We'll put this in motion, and you'll see the circulation with the onshore flow up toward Jacksonville, up toward coastal Georgia, all of that water, and you see the curved shape of the coast. It kind of just funnels right into that area, and that's why you're seeing all that beach erosion, even though the center is on the other side of the state. So that's noteworthy. Also, because this is transitioning now to a subtropical or extratropical storm, the wind field, it's not going to be around the center anymore. It's going to be a more expansive wind field around this whole circulation. So instead of a core of, let's say, 60 or 70 mile an hour winds, there's going to be a vast area with 40 mile per hour winds, which can do its own damage, as you saw along the coast. There was never any hurricane force winds there. So again, weakening in terms of top winds, but the wind field is increasing. Our weather, can't beat it, right? Lots of sunshine, fantastic. CDPHP first warning cam in Catskill, beautiful blue sky and 68 degrees. Most of the capital region now at or above 60, officially 63 in Albany. Of course, it's dry. It's going to be that way. First warning live Doppler radar is quiet. High pressure is locked in. It's been dominating, and it'll continue to rule the weather today. Then as we get into the day tomorrow, notice a milder start. It's going to cloud up pretty quickly, but stay dry through noon. Then later in the day, let's say 1 or 2 o'clock, the first few showers come in. Then the rain gets steady and at times heavy, and that'll last into the evening. And you can see it here on the hour-by-hour forecast. I don't want to jump too far ahead. The hour-by-hour forecast will show that rain coming in, not so much tonight and not so much early in the day on Friday. Notice at 7 a.m. it's dry. But by lunchtime, that's when we see the first rain come in. And then the heavy stuff comes in during the evening, overnight, a little bit of a break. And then finally, if you have plans first thing Saturday morning, we're still going to be getting a batch of rain from this thing right around 7 a.m., probably clear out by late morning. But overall, it looks like a late Friday, early Saturday type storm. And again, you mentioned it, Sabrina. We're not talking about a bunch of wind and rain that's going to cause a whole boatload of power outages and trees down around here. We're not going to get a hurricane, but we are going to have some impactful weather here. Tomorrow, 65. So along with this tropical system comes the milder temperatures. 7-day planner will show things clearing out, but also cooling off by the end of the weekend.
And you said it, Paul, and our weather team this morning, Christina said it, that an alert day will be declared tomorrow because of all of those things you just talked about.
Yeah, exactly. And it's more about the impacts on people's plans late Friday and Friday night. It's a Friday and early Saturday morning, not because we're expecting severe weather here, but just that it's going to perhaps alter your plans.
All right, Paul, thank you so much. We'll find out more, of course, starting live at 4. Thanks, Paul.
Okay.
I want to talk about some breaking news and a story you're only seeing on 13. 2 missing girls found and reunited with their families just a short time ago. And Dan Levy was there as this was happening. So Dan is here in our podcast studio. Dan, tell us a little bit about what happened.
Sabrina, what an emotional roller coaster it has been for these two area families. I know you're a mother, I'm a father. I can't imagine what it would be like to not know where my children, well, when my children were younger, where they are. They didn't come home overnight.
Terrifying. And these are young girls.
Young girls. One girl is 11, the other girl is 12, both students at Hackett Middle School. And they were supposed to be home sometime last night, around dinner time after their after school activities. Well, nighttime turned into overnight, overnight turned into daylight, and still the families had no idea where the girls were. They contacted Albany police. Albany police did initiate a search, and then the media was contacted. I went over, I spoke with one of the mothers this morning. I was meeting up with the other mother at Hackett because she was over there. She wanted to review some surveillance video. And just when I got there, she came running out of the school. She said, "They found them. They found them." And so then I contacted the other woman who I had already spoken with. She said, "Yeah, the detectives just called me. They found my little girl." And we met up with them at South Station. We were there for the joyous reunion. But what an ordeal that was for those families, for those young girls.
The video that people were just seeing, Dan, that is part of that, what you were describing, that reunion. And you actually spoke with these girls and the parents about what happened and how they're doing?
I did. They're doing great. They both had smiles on their faces. Both of them were just clutching their mothers so firmly. And one mother said, "You're never going to let go of me for a week, are you?" They were in good health. They were in good spirits. They found some other place to sleep overnight. The mystery, of course, is why did they do it? Who were they with? And what possessed them to try this very unusual situation. I spoke with the young girls. I spoke with the parents, and folks will hear from them on our newscast beginning at 4:00.
Dan, thank you very much for being here, updating us on that, and we look forward to hearing more about it. We'll talk with you soon. Thank you. All right, another story we are following closely is a 13 investigates special. You saw part one yesterday about when police need to become first responders for mental health. And we have Tessa Bentul in here who has been following this closely. And I want to just kind of get some stuff updated here and bring Tessa into our conversation right now. Tessa, thank you for being here with us.
Thank you.
I know this is something you've been working on, and we showed that body cam video yesterday. It was tough to watch, but the woman in that body cam video has been openly talking about this.
She has. Her name is Charlene Hunter. We first showed you everyone who she is yesterday. And when you first meet this woman during our interview, she is so kind. She's so sweet. She's a totally different person than the woman you saw in the body cam video, which was this distraught, scared, vulnerable woman who was going through a psychotic episode. She was on the wrong medication. She was seeing hallucinations. She was hearing voices in her head. And the police that were there that day in Stillwater, they just didn't handle the situation correctly. Instead of working with her and sitting down with her and asking her what she might need, they got aggressive with her right from the start. You know, they were upset, they were mad. You could see it in their body language when you watch the video. And instead of saying, let's see how we can handle this, it was more like, if you're not going to come with us, we're going to have to get physical with you. And it just went right from there. So she wants to be part of a change here.
So that we have that video up right now, Tessa, and again, it is tough to watch, and we want to make sure people know that this isn't something that that we are trying to point the finger at the police. And Charlene herself, in your story yesterday, apologized for what transpired. So it's important to point that out, but also important to point out just exactly what these officers are going through.
Yeah, it's, you know, you can see both sides a little bit, because Charlene actually messaged us and she said, "Hey, listen, I've got this body cam video. This is what happened to me." And at first we were a little skeptical, because we were like, well, is this her message to say, I hate the police? But really it's not. You saw her say, I'm sorry for the way I've acted. I've had really good outcomes in the past with police that have responded to other mental health crises I've been in through before. And for police too, we've talked to Sheriff Craig Apple for the second part of the story, And we talked to a mental health expert who says that a lot of police departments know that they are not the first ones who should be responding to a lot of these calls a lot of the time. They know that there should be another person, maybe someone who works in mental health or someone who has experienced something like that before, to go in either with them or go in before, see how they can help them before they're called in.
So part two will really focus on that today, and what can be done and the training that maybe should change, right? So we look forward to hearing about that. And Tessa, thank you very much. Thanks for looking into this.
Thank you, Sabrina.
And another story we want to get you updated on. Switching to a lighter note, because the holidays are coming and the Rockefeller Christmas tree is on its way down to New York City. We have some video of that. Cut down this morning in Queensbury off Main Street. The Norway spruce now on its way down to New York City. The Rockefeller Center gardener said, I came up here early in the summer and I was on my way to see another tree down the road, and I came past it and I came back and checked it out again after that. So clearly caught his eye. He wanted to make sure that it becomes a national spectacle. So the tree was cut down this morning. It's now on its way down south. It is expected to arrive in Manhattan Saturday morning. It'll be lit up November 30th. Very exciting. That is your 13 Now update on this Thursday afternoon. Thank you for watching. I'm Sabrina Dhami. We'll have our new newscast starting live at 4 on News Channel 13.